What's up, guys? Streaming to you today on Monday, May 4th for Make Room Video Game Design with EdAlliance. Hope you can hear me. I see Dan in the chat. Welcome, Dan. Sounds like my audio is coming through and we are good to be live. So, if you are joining us today from the EdAlliance team, say hi in the chat. It's great to be casting to you today. I am going to be talking about some really fun stuff on this cast. I will be focusing on the April 2020 challenge, just looking back at everything we've been doing over the past month. And then, of course, play testing a little bit, talking about some of the games we made, and then looking forward to what we'll be working on in May. So I won't get started on the good stuff until I've waited a few minutes to let people roll in. But that is the plan for this afternoon. And I hope you guys are as excited as I am because we've been doing some really good stuff. And May is even going to be more fun because we've got the opportunity to do some building and growing and making things just a little bit better, which is the best part of making a game when you already have a game and you're just making it better. So I've got the portal open here that is on the Make Room website. And of course, this portal is where you would submit your game. I did get a game from David a few minutes ago, which is fantastic, coming in just under the wire. If you still would like to submit a game and you haven't yet, you are more than invited. You can link here to itch.io or simmer.io to submit a build to us and send in the URL. So, of course, your goal is to publish your game online and share it with us so that then we can share it with our friends at EdAlliance and at Eline Media, who are, of course, more than excited to play test and enjoy the games that you are building. So, as usual, again, if you're coming in, just let me know you're here in the chat. Say hello. I will probably get started in earnest at 5 after. I see David in the chat. Hello. Did it have to be WebGL? Did it have to be WebGL? I don't know what sense you're saying that in. Like, I don't know if he's saying, like, did it have to be WebGL? Or just purely asking, is that definitely required? One thing I will say to that is if you're having problems with WebGL, then the other thing I would try is maybe go ahead and creating your itch.io account and uploading a PC or Mac build, which is the default build settings in Unity, and uploading there. I did notice, speaking of David, that David's game there was a resolution issue where it was a bit large on the screen, and I wasn't sure why the game came in so large. So it might be worth doing to investigate uploading an application build on itch, which allows you to do that. But one thing I will say about this is before we get too serious about, really optimizing the WebGL build and everything like that, that we do have a month ahead of us that will be focused on polishing and moving beyond the first playable and alpha build sort of phase of a game project. And I'm really excited about this because, in our in person studios, what we have done a lot of is taking a game from an idea to a first playable or an alpha. And that's a really difficult process. It takes a lot of skill to learn the Unity basics that would enable you to go from idea to game. And now that we're online, we have this opportunity to branch out a little bit and actually focus on really making a game strong. So, with that in mind, what we're going to be looking at in May is taking a game that already exists and really polishing it up and getting it perfect so that you would feel not just comfortable but excited to release that game online. And again, part of the process of submitting for this end of April challenge deadline is to get you familiar with the process of building and releasing a game on one of these platforms. So you can then in May think about how to optimize that process and really, really play test and bug fix a game so that when you run that build and do that publishing step, you know what you've got is awesome. So I'm really excited about that. And actually, I'm just going to show you guys right here on the Make Room website. I have a blog post here that summarizes what we'll be working on in May. So again, if you went to blog up here and clicked on this May 2020 article that I published last week, you would see that, this is our sort of formal design constraints, our formal marching orders for what we'll be working on in May. We're challenging you this month to polish and publish a video game. And anybody, and of course this goes out to David, Emmy as well. Emmy, if you're there, and very much so, any of the members of our studio, Neural, the other folks who have worked on games with us in the past, everybody's a candidate for this who's made a Unity game and could pick that Unity game up. We will be talking in May about all kinds of things, including sessions where we specifically answer your questions. I listed out some examples here of the things that we're going to talk about. Balancing gameplay, developing new systems, game design documents, juicing, which of course Dan is a deep well of knowledge about, debugging, polishing, and then dealing with itch.io, branding your indie studio, and just really putting up a strong product when you make a video game online. Kicking off this phase, which will be about a month, you definitely have the opportunity to let us know what you're interested in this realm of going from alpha through beta and up to a release candidate. So if you have specific topics related to this later sort of second half stage of the process, let us know. Let us know what you want to learn about, what you're confused about, and we will make sure to focus on your interests as well as the things we think are important. We will never stop giving you guys programming tutorials and tips and tricks out on how to make the most out of Unity. You will need to learn more Unity skills and lots more programming skills to do some of these advanced tasks. So don't worry, it'll definitely be a lot of good technical stuff as well as some really fun stuff around, just the fun aspects of game design. I was going to talk a little bit about those today myself. So, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to having you guys join, and I hope it goes really well. Like I said, we have never really had a chance to do this type of work in our studio, and now is the time. So of course here at the bottom it just says, Twitch will continue at the same times, 4 p.m. Monday, Wednesdays. That will not change until further notice. So join us here at this time, and then on Wednesdays, Dan and I will be casting to you until probably the end of the school year. So as long as school would have been in session, you will be able to come here and hear from us. So that is what's up for May. Again, hey, if you're joining, just let me know by saying hi in the chat. Let me know you're here. I think what I'm going to do is talk for a few minutes about the instructor game that Dan and I put together for the 2020 challenge. And then I did get a submission from David today, so I would definitely want to play test David's game and show it to you guys. I will be so excited to get feedback from everybody on both of these games. I see Snowy Blue in the chat. Hello, it's so good to see you here at last. Dan, David also are here, so wonderful to see another member of the team. Everybody say hi to Tayshawn. So glad you're here. Um, so great. I wanted to show you guys again, kicking off with the instructor game, and then we'll move to David's. So excited to show you guys David's game as well. He has put a lot of work into this, and I suspect maybe he's updated a few things since we last saw it. So I see Tayshawn in the chat saying, I can't see everyone saying anything. It's just me talking. Everyone else is in the chat. So just make sure you can hear my audio and you're doing it right. All right. So here is Unity. And I wanted to show you guys just a bit about this project. So, this whole time we've had the challenge going, and I said to Dan, we put this challenge out to our students, and we better do the challenge too. Because, we've never actually made a game with you guys. We help people make games, but I thought it was good for us to actually try to do one of our own challenges and show you guys the kind of game that we would make. So the game that we decided to make was also in the theme of Alone Together. And if you're interested in learning the process of how we put this whole game together, you can actually check out our YouTube videos on the Make Room YouTube. If you went to our YouTube channel here, it's Make Room on YouTube. We have a playlist here, the April 2020 Instructor Game playlist, where Dan and I take you through some of the different development tasks associated with putting this game together. So if you see anything in this game that's similar to what you want to do in your game, it's a great place to go to learn. We're still making videos for it. We got the game done in time, but the videos are still rolling out, so lots of content to come about this instructor game. So, of course, we wanted to make a game about walking around in a park. And the idea was to do a game where, you walk around in this park and then you have to avoid these people walking around in the park or risk losing health or losing points or something. And then, these flowers over here give you points or give you health back or something. So like the idea was a game where you're trying to view flowers and avoid people in a park, which to me was very evocative of my experience of living in Manhattan during the coronavirus. So we've been working on this game for pretty much the whole month here and there. And I wanted to show you guys the WebGL version is live. So I've got it right here, and we'll share it in the chat as well. If you're interested in play testing during this cast, you can check it out. I'm going to play it myself here just to show you guys what it's like. So what I'm looking for at this moment is very much to get playtesting feedback on this game that Dan and I did, because submitting this alpha ourselves, we will of course be looking for playtesting suggestions for things we can work on throughout the month of May to take this from, I would say this is probably an alpha, to a beta, and then on into a release candidate that we could actually say is a real video game. So feel free to play it, connect up. It's live on simmer.io right now, and I will play it on the cast as well. It's a short game. It's an alpha. We've got some how to play here, and here it is. Oh, goodness. There we go. We've got a bug where the health, or otherwise known as the stress, ticks up while you're in the menu. But yeah, you gotta click on some flowers here. Reduce the stress. And one of the things that we set up for this you know, if you click on the flower after the particle effect is not there, I'll show you how this works. Oh my gosh, that zombie is really giving me a lot of stress. So if I walk up to this flower and click on it, and then again, it's going to buzz and my stress is going to go up. So, of course, my goal here is going to be to reduce my stress to 0. Let's see how far down I can get it. If you're watching the video right now, of course, my stream just cut out, which is absolutely no fun. Just gonna try to reconnect myself to Twitch here. Hopefully we'll be live in just a moment. Hello. Hopefully that will work for us. Let's see what my throughput is like. Hey guys, welcome back. The stream cut out. Yep. Hey Dan. Hey Dan. Out to Tayshawn. Yeah, I see Tayshawn saying the stream's not working. We do have some connectivity issues, so if you guys see the stream go off, my recommendation is just to wait, and it should come live again. Anyway, yeah, I was playing the game, and it looks like I've got a bug where I can die while the menu's paused, so that's some feedback right there that we can put on the docket for May. You know, I'm definitely hoping that playing this game isn't what disconnected me from Twitch, but if it is, so be it. Anyway, you guys get the idea, and I'll be definitely looking for your feedback if you have a chance to play this. I'm gonna go click on some flowers and just play with it a little bit and think about maybe what some of the next steps would be. You know, I've been working on this game for about a month with Dan, and if you check out the instructor videos, you will see that I set up the environment and the avatar, and Dan created a system for clicking on flowers and the sort of intermittent particle effects that turn on when you can click on the flowers to reduce your stress. So, oh my gosh, those zombies are really blocking those flowers. So what I've been thinking with this game is, you know, it's pretty cute, and I really like the frame idea of reducing stress and avoiding people. And now that we've got these systems set up, I'm starting to think that we need some other things to do. So, you know, we've got this bug where you can die when the menu's open. And once we've fixed that, I'm thinking that we need to have some other objective of things that I can do in the park besides clicking on the flowers. So, you know, maybe something to collect, like coins, or maybe something a little bit more thematic other than coins. Well, I'm really cheesing this game here. I can stand in this corner. We've got an uneven distribution of zombies, which is also maybe something that could be brought. Oh my gosh, go away. Okay. But what I was thinking is, like, I'd really like to be able to try to do something else here besides flowers. And I'm not sure what the right choices of things that I would try to do in this game. So I'm curious if you guys have input on, you know, what should I have to try to do while avoiding these zombies and also keeping my stress down by clicking on them? You know, is there something I'm trying to collect? Oh my gosh, don't go there. There's too many people. Okay, this looks safe. You know, I'm trying to collect something. I'm trying to what? You know, and then the other idea I had was, you know, for this version, your basic stress is supposed to be 60 when you start the game. So, you know, you have a relatively high level of stress. I was thinking, maybe there's some kind of setting in the menu where you can choose your starting stress depending on if you want to play an easy or a harder game. It does tend to go on for quite a while with that starting stress. I still haven't been able to win, which makes the arc of the gameplay feel a little bit too long, given that this is a fairly cute and casual art game style game that just sort of tries to create a feeling. So, definitely thinking about some ways that we can improve the overall feel of this and give you some more things to do. Still haven't won, but I'm getting it down. It really shows you how hard it is to de-stress in the age of coronavirus. Okay, down to 35. Just don't run into any zombies. All right, get away from the flowers. Come on. Ah, it just uses them up so fast. There's too many people in this park. I do actually have a zombie spawner in this game, so it gets quite a bit harder as it goes on, which we may honestly have it play balanced in a way where, it's really, really hard to pop out of the gameplay loop and win, because with the zombies getting more and more populous, it's harder and harder to keep my baseline stress level down. I think I'm going to be able to win though, so let's see if I can get myself all the way through this. Oh my god, it went back up to 40. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna just let myself die so you can see, of course, that there is a death condition. Oh, they're killing me. I'm getting so stressed out. Oh, too stressful. And just to demo the other functionalities of this, of course, we do have a basic pause menu and a continue function here. It is possible to win the game, but I think we've got some gameplay that's a little bit long, a little bit hard in this version, and given that there's not a lot to do in the game, there's not a lot of motivation to continue on. So that's our game. I'm checking in the chat just to see what people had to say. How about you have to collect a mask? That's from Tayshawn. That could be a cool idea. Perhaps the mask allows you to get closer to the zombies without them hurting you. That is a great idea. So, maybe we could introduce a power-up of a mask where, when you pick up a mask, you have a certain amount of time where the zombies don't affect you. That would be a really exciting type of thing to do, especially because if the mask spawns in a certain area of the map, we would be sort of motivated to run to that area of the map and collect the mask. That would be a really great idea, and I really enjoy that suggestion. In terms of gameplay feel, another suggestion that I had myself after playing this is a pretty subtle one, but I feel like this is a shout out to the kind of thing that I know Dan likes about in games. The colliders on some of the obstacles in this game are kind of sticky. And because the character is really slow, I feel often like if I run into a thing like this, it takes me forever to kind of navigate around it. Like, it's easy to kind of get stuck up against the water. And it's just not very fun to feel like you're stuck in the tank. So one of the thoughts I had for this game was to add some physics materials to the obstacles in the middle of the park so that when the character runs into it, it's pretty easy to slip past these things rather than once I run into it, I'm trying to run along the side. It just slows me way down. So we've definitely got some ways that we could smooth out the process of playing the game. I'm really interested in maybe optimizing the feel of the avatar as well as adding a power-up. Maybe we'll do a mask. And then the other idea I had was, again, maybe an option for systems or a systems option at the beginning where I can choose my starting stress. David is suggesting guns, which of course, that sounds like something you would suggest, David. So, a more typical manifestation would be that, we can murder the zombies, and we're trying to clear people out. But, first of all, we would have to get a 3D model that actually has a gun. So I don't know if I would be able to get a gun in the hand of that little guy. But It's certainly an interesting notion. Um, in fact, it reminds me a little bit. Before I transition to checking out David's game, I wanted to show you guys, today is sort of like an inspiration day. Um, I had seen a game on Steam that I wanted to show you the preview video for because it's the game on Steam that I've most thought seemed like it came from our game studio. So I actually was on Steam yesterday and I saw this game and I was like absolutely convinced for a second that the people who made this game were David and Emmy. I'm like, David and Emmy definitely made this game. Um, I would be so not surprised if this had been made by our studio. I'm going to show you guys the preview for it right here. So check this out. I was such a fan of this. So this is a first person action game about hunting spiders and causing collateral damage. And like I'm just serious. Like, I can seriously imagine David and Emmy collaborating to make a game like this. Like, it is so wacky, it is so funny, it's so over the top. And like, I almost feel like the environment design in this game just like reminds me of some of the environments that we build a lot in our games. Just such a funny concept. I love it so much that I almost want to immediately try to build a game like this ourselves. I can totally see how we would make this, and it would just be so much fun to like build out different kinds of weapons and create a level where you have to shoot a tiny little spider. Which, by now, of course, we know how to do enemy AI, and a game like this is really reliant on some really fun physics and also a simple menu for switching weapons, like you can see here at the bottom. So just wanted to give you guys a little inspiration with this. I thought it was so fun and it reminded me of you guys. It made me miss you. I miss seeing you guys in person. So Kill It With Fire, check it on Steam. Summer 2020 it'll be out. So there's Kill It With Fire. We've played Pandemic Hanami, which is my game with Dan. And then David had shared 3 4 Nights at Home as a WebGL build. So I'll toss this one in the chat as well in case you guys want to hop on and play. And I will check it out myself. So David told me that the WebGL build caused some issues with the music app. So, anytime I see a bug in this, I'm definitely going to make the assumption that there is an issue with the WebGL and not worry that David didn't debug because, I know David is pretty good about playtesting his games. But the link is there in the chat, and so this is available for you guys to play yourselves. We are definitely interested in feedback on all the games I'm showing today, so absolutely check this one out and let David know if you have ideas for what he could add or work on. Very exciting that this game has come into being. So we'll let this one load. I know it's a pretty beefy game because I have played the Unity project and that one sometimes takes a while to load. So let's just give this one a second. Awesome. All right, let's make this a little more doable. Here it is, 3 4 Nights at Home. And I know I've said this before about this game, but I really do think that the audio design in this is fantastic. It's just a good game, And here we've got a little bit of.
Hello, it's me, your dad. Did you hear about the news? You're supposed to stay home. I sent you $100. It should last you for 2 weeks. Try to order some food on your food app. Okay, bye.
I always love that guy. That sound is just so creepy. Let's order some food. And wow, look at this. What does this do? Oh my gosh, I can order video games. $60. I want to play it. All right. And we've got some disinfectant, but let's actually see if there's already some there. Okay, I have some. So, one thing I just noticed that the tutorial text that comes up at the beginning that tells you what you can do looked like it got cut off at the top of the screen. And that is a situation where we could use UI anchors, which I know Dan has talked about in a couple videos. Anchoring the UI correctly will help you guarantee that you're always going to be able to see your text even when the aspect ratio changes. So that's a really minor little tweak, but
Delivery.
Oh my gosh, this game really creeps me out. I just hope it's not that horrifying rabbit. Okay.
Here's your food.
Thank you. Oh.
Thank you so much.
One thing that I will just say about this is, in the Unity project, thank you so much, is definitely Barack Obama, based on the audio that is, and I'm such a fan of the fact that, I might actually be Barack Obama in this house. So I've got some food here. I'm not too hungry, but I also know that, if I don't eat this, it will turn green, and I don't want to lose my food, so I don't know why I can't click on that. I would like to eat you. Oh my gosh. I caused a weird bug with the food. Okay, finally. Awesome. Alright, so what else should I do? Let's see. There's no horrifying things coming, so I guess I'll go play some video games. Yeah. Ooh, purple woman though. Ready to play? Yes. Awesome. Oh my gosh. What a fun game. This is awesome. I better not forget that I could get hungry though. What? What? Oh no! Oh no! Oh my gosh. Well, that was fun. Okay, what else can I do to entertain myself during the apocalypse? Let's see. What is that? Is it a rotten hamburger? Because I really feel like it is. Why do I have a rotten hamburger? Oh my gosh. What is even happening? Okay, nothing in there. Let's see if there's any rotten hamburgers in them. Okay. Well, it already looks like I'm getting hungry, so let's order some more food. I'll tip the guy because I feel like they come faster. Added the actual virus as an enemy. Well, that's super exciting. I actually can't wait to see that. David is saying. So, one thing that's interesting with this game is like, click on things, don't stay outside. Oh my gosh. Cool. Wonder if there's anything in these. Nope. Man, the dark web works. Wow. Let's check this out. Okay. Oh my gosh. want this. Unavailable. The guy is there. Oh my gosh! Holy shit! Oh my god! He's coughing at me! Oh my god! Oh my god, that was so scary! Alright, what even was that? I feel like I need to play this again. Alright, I gotta spray him with Lysol at the end of this thing. Alright, let's see if the next time when I open the door, I'm gonna spray that guy. Alright, how long can I survive this time? Round two.
Hello.
And this time I'm just gonna hang up because I know what the guy says. I'll order some food and then let's see. What's this? From the album, finish the build before 3. Gotcha. Legit. Okay. Let's get Purple and Go. I definitely want that game. And then buy now. And I got some food coming. That's good. Hopefully I'm not buffering too much. Right, okay. I need the password for that. New things in the help. Let's check that too. Look at the calendar, see your progress. Click on the bottle. Oh, great. Move mouse up to shift. Spray virus as long as they're not propelled from someone's mouth.
Delivery.
I'm gonna play some games. Dead bodies are useful. You just need to find some links or some sort of wiki on the dark web. What more things are they add to make this game have more things to keep you occupied? Wow.
Food delivery.
I am not a fan of that guy. Alright. Oh.
Here's your food.
Thanks. Okay. Cool. Alright, well, let's eat. And I think I might just... Oh my gosh, I'm scared. Okay. This time...
Your package is here.
Oh, that is so unsettling. Oh, there it is. Awesome. Need it. Just have to make it so I can click on it. Give that to me. Okay, I think I got the mask. Yes! Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Really nice UI. This has just gotten so good. Let's see, my hunger is resolved. And I should get that message of don't go outside. Yeah, I won't. I do feel with this game, like, I have this sense that there's going to be something in this game that gives me information about dark web stuff. It looks like maybe I'm not navigating the level correctly in the world of that mini game, but who knows? But I have this sense. Links. Yeah, it says links. I don't know what that would be, though. Any suggestion other than from David in the chat of where I should go to find some links? What would be a link in this game? Oh, so I've got to get there. This is definitely what I asked for in the last playthrough, which is fantastic. Guess I'll order some more food. Really unsettling. And the mask is good. house outside looks suspicious. Oh, like that? Yeah, that does look suspicious. Oh, I can't even go over there now. He's got this set up actually to prevent me from walking around, which is super smart and absolutely the right choice. I enjoy the surrealist take on this game with this head being out here. But I cannot walk over to the pink house, so will it be some links, man? I still am unclear on that. Again, any ideas coming from the chat?
Here's your food.
I'm so scared right now. Don't cough at me, bro. Okay.
Your food is here.
Actually,
Delivery.
those because how do I put it down? Right. It's stuck in my hand.
What are you doing?
I want it. Hang
I'm
on.
standing right here with your food.
Thank you so much.
I'm standing right.
Okay. Oh man, I really wasted that. I better order more of that stuff. How did I create this situation where I can't click on stuff? I think I'm in the weapon mode. Well, I'm gonna order more of that. But I do think I created a bug. I don't know how I did that. But oh, there we go. Yeah. Give me food. Cool. What else? Oh my gosh!
Your package is here.
Okay. I have to go get... I think I need to get this. Maybe? Alright. Let's check the wiki, because I need to put something in that, I know. Let's check wiki.
Hello.
And I was like trying to get the bunny to come back because even though I'm terrified of the bunny, I also like wanted to see it again. And I'm not totally sure like what causes that thing to show up at the house. So David, let us know how to get the bunny, and I will try to summon it. You know, one thing I will say about this game is the amount of stuff in it is like, by this point, really impressive. And what's what's interesting about this game in particular is what it looks like is a first-person game. So you end up in a, you're in this environment that seems like a first-person, almost like a walking simulator, like a Gone Home or a Firewatch type game. And then the truth of the matter is, it's actually more, with this interface, this is really where the game is happening. Okay, 0 tip. Let's try that. It's almost like I'm playing a hacking game or a puzzle game, something a little bit different than what it looks like on the surface, which is really compelling in my opinion. Oops. All right. Well, now that it's a bad tip, I'm gonna wait until the rabbit comes. All right. I see. So we've got some random generation of stuff here. Let's wait until the rabbit comes and then we'll wrap up the playtest. Oh, nope, it's not a rabbit. I see. So we would have to wait for the random gen to generate.
Here's your food.
Additions.
Thank you so much.
So let's do that. Try to eat some food here. Still playing this game. I'm still playing, and I'm trying to order. I'm shooting while I'm ordering, which is probably not the goal, but so be it. I would love to eat that. It's hard to eat. Come to me. Don't go out the door. No. Alright. So, yes, I had to start and stop the stream, and it kind of messed up my ability to eat the food. Well, now it's green. Alright, let's see if we get the rabbit on this one, and then, if not, oh my gosh, that's so unsettling. If I don't get the rabbit on this one, I'll probably just stop the playtest, and leave it to you guys to keep playtesting this one, because I think that there's a lot to discover here, and several of us should probably playtest this game just to get a sense of all the possible things that could happen. Yeah, it looks like I didn't get him.
Here's your food.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm Obama. Okay. Boop. This time. Oh, I ate the green one. What a bummer. So, alright. I am back. Hopefully. Nope. Fun. This always happens at the end, doesn't it? believe I'm back now. I hope this sticks for the rest of the cast. I only have a few minutes. Nope. Nope. Not at all. Trying to come back live to you guys. Hello. I am hopefully back. I am nearly dead, and this food is not going to help me. The game continued to run while I was fixing the stream, and alas, I believe I'm going to die of hunger. So I think I'll have to end the playtest here due to connection issues. And you're dead. That's how I feel when the stream cuts off. Oh my goodness, David, it's so intense. It's just such an auditory experience, like Dan said. I'm gonna just close this so I can turn the sound off and press quit. Whoops. I would like to see what happens when I press quit for sure, if there's anything interesting. Um, so, fantastic job to David. Thank you. If you're not David and you are following along on this cast, please play test David's game. I would love to get playtesting feedback on the game Dan and I put together as well, which is much simpler and a little bit more cartoony. We've got a very cool horror experience coming from David, and hopefully a few other games to roll in throughout May. Because, of course, in May, we're going to be looking for polished products that people are ready to release on itch.io or simmer.io, just depending on where it's easiest for you. I'm just curious if pressing quit is anything cool. Yeah, it just like lets us back here. And who knows what this is? This is an interesting little weird background going on. Is it the coronavirus? Is it a map of something? Who's to say? But thank you for a fantastic playtest. I was going to say one thing for David's game, which is that on the optimizing front, I would definitely do some work to make the click interactions a little bit more intuitive. And so sometimes when I click on something, it doesn't click on it, and I have to get my cursor in the right position. And we can fix a lot of those issues by doing some ray casting. Looks like WebGL is also proving an issue for this game, according to David. So we may want to look at prioritizing doing an application build of this game and uploading it on itch.io instead of using Simmer. I'm sorry to hear that WebGL caused some bugs. That's such a bummer. You never know what's going to happen when you change the way the project is built. So, regardless, I would love to show you how to do some raycasting interactions, which can, I think, make that kind of clicking and interacting with things work a little more securely across different kinds of builds. Raycasting should really work no matter what situation you're in. And, I think that would be a great topic for Dan to take us through in a future cast because it's just really nice to know how to throw a raycast and detect when the raycast is hitting a trigger. So, like with that food, for example, I could raycast at the food, and if my raycast shooting out of my center of my screen is hitting the food, then I would say when I click, I pick it up to eat it. And you can make the trigger around the food big enough that clicking anywhere in the vicinity of the food is going to cause you to eat it, which is really nice and works a little bit better than I think that cursor just on mouse, which we have a little less control over with exactly how the functionality of that works compared with raycasting, which can be done very specifically. So that would be a really fun topic. And then on the gameplay front for this game, so much to explore. I love the atmospheric quality of it and how creepy it is. The fact that there's the dark web on the phone, there are video games you can buy. It's a really interesting exploration piece. And I would love to talk about um, a gameplay pattern where, like in the help menu, it said, what are some suggestions of things that people can do in the game? Um, I think that we just need to continue to have more things to do. And one suggestion I have for that would be looking in the house for more money. I think looking in the house for more money would motivate you to click on things. And fundamentally, this is a game about clicking on things to explore and figuring out exactly what you can do. And so, as your hunger ticks down and as you run out of money, I would say that would be a great way to motivate people to explore all of the resources they have on hand, including that dark web portal. Um, which, I think maybe what you might naturally do in a game like this is um, put instructions for different things to search in that portal somewhere in the house. Because when I hit a puzzle like that where I see a password, my immediate thought in a video game is I need to look in the environment for the password to this area. So my mistake in the dark web portal that you saw I made when I was playtesting is I said, oh, links. Okay, I need to find links, wiki, something like that. There must be something in the room that will explain to me what that is so that I know what to type in that box. So, one easy option is to just fulfill that expectation by putting some instructions down in a drawer somewhere. And I will say that people who play these kind of walking sim type games where you're in an environment and you have to look at things are very accustomed to that mentality of looking to try to find things that unlock other things. And yeah, again, what's really cool about this game is it sort of seems like a walking simulator, but then there are aspects of gameplay that are very much not like that. And so it comes in looking like one type of game, and then we end up in this whole other dynamic that's really bizarre. Um, so, David, thank you so much for contributing this. It's really masterful. I'm really impressed by seeing this happen over the last month. And I think you should keep working on it. I think that this game would definitely merit another round of development towards a beta and then eventually a release candidate at the end of May. So, with all of this stuff kind of in mind, again, May is about polishing a game. So, if you are watching this cast, I would love to hear from you about, what games you're thinking of working on in May. I know Tayshawn is here, and it's great to see you in the chat, Tayshawn, and we would love to involve you in working on a game, even if you can't do Unity development at home. So definitely, guys, if we have someone like Tayshawn on hand as an artist, he's someone we could rely on to develop graphics and 2D assets for a game project. So an example of this that I can show you is in this game. I'll reload the one that I built with Dan. There's a number of 2D assets I used in the menu structure for this game that could be generated by a working artist like Tayshawn. An example of such an asset would be this green blob right here. So if I were looking for a way to use an artist who can't use Unity but is able to create 2D assets, I would employ that artist in creating something like this. I would say, I want a kind of vomity blob as a button in my game. Can you create an image like this? And when you're ready with it, I'll put it in my menu. So that would be one aspect that I think would be a great use of your skills. Tayshawn, if you're interested in participating, and David, if you're ever interested in getting 2D assets, he's somebody that you could call on to generate things like this. I certainly would. Incidentally, I got this blob just downloaded off of the internet from a site called the Noun Project. It's a great place to get clip art, but of course, unless you have a paid account, you have to give credit to the folks who made the images. So it's really nice to have an in-house artist to generate things like logos and menu elements like this. So would love to see something like that happening. And overall, I'm just really looking forward to May. So to sum all of this up, playtest the games that I shared today. Again, those are 3-4 Nights at Home by David and Pandemic Hanami, which Dan and I put together for you guys. We should be seeing a build from Emmy, I hope, sometime in the near future. I suspect that Emmy needs to do a little bit more work to get together some UI and HUD elements for her toilet paper throwing game, and then we should see a build of that game on Simmer.io very soon. If you want to follow along with the development we did for our game, you can check it out on the Make Room YouTube channel. That's Make Room on YouTube, and the instructor game is here. A series of videos that we are continuing to record even on into May. For May, on the Make Room blog, again, that's makeroom.elionmedia.com/blog. I will actually share this article in the chat with you guys. The summary of what we're doing in May is right here, just giving some general details of what the focus is. So that's what you should be thinking about. And when Dan casts on Wednesday, we'll dig in and get started on the kinds of things you do to take a game from a first playable or an alpha on towards beta and then into a release. So come with your questions, come with your games, and be excited because May is going to be an awesome month of game making. And I couldn't be more excited about playing the games that you guys are working on. So again, if you have questions, let us know. Shout outs to David, shout outs to Tayshawn. You should definitely continue to work with us, even if you don't have Unity. We would love for you to be an artist. So send me an email if you want to do that, and we will include you in the digital studio. All right, guys. And Dan, thank you for being here as a mod. I'm going to sign off for today. Be in touch and join us once again on Wednesday at 4 p.m. right here on the Eline Media Twitch channel, where we'll be back at it with some game development and engineering stuff that I know you guys are going to love. All right. Talk to you soon. This is Natalie signing off for Monday.